In today's video, we're going to be looking at a new fantasy beat 'em up with a demo currently on Steam and the game coming out later this year, Heroes of Mount Dragon. This game is coming out from indie developer Runique, or as I like to call them, RuniQ. The demo gives you 4 playable characters and you can play through a variety of levels, take on swarms of enemy, and even fight a boss. I'll tell you my thoughts on this game and if this could be the next Golden Axe experience. Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. It's Michael B, and today we're going to be talking about Heroes of Mount Dragon from Runique, an indie developer making this passion project fantasy beat 'em up that I think is worth a look. I want to say a huge thank you to Runique for sending this demo out to me a little bit early for me to check it out. I've been able to play it for the last month, and today I want to share my opinion of the game and give my thoughts on what the positives are and tell you some of the more negative or things I don't like about it. So first up, guys, obviously, I'm a big fan of fantasy-style beat-em-up games, going all the way back to Golden Axe, The Revenge of Death Adder. Then on the Capcom side, I've played them all, King of Dragons, Knights of the Round, even the Dungeons & Dragons arcade games. I loved them all. This is definitely my style of game. So when they told me about this, I was very interested in checking it out. So here's what I like about the game. Obviously, big fan of fantasy action role-playing style beat 'em up games. This is something that I've been playing for a very long time, very much enjoy. What I really like about this, obviously, I like the graphics. Even though this is a classic style game, they use more of like a polygon rendered style of character instead of the art-based sprites that you would typically see in these games. So I really like both the character designs and I like the enemy designs. The actual fighting in the game is done with something different than you would normally see in a beat 'em up. It's done with a combo system where different button combinations form different combos instead of your classic, beat 'em up where you've got punch and then jump kick and then you might have a special move. There's a lot in here. There's also a system where you can turn into a dragon and rain destruction over the entire playfield all at one time if you build up your special meter. A lot of times in these games, it's so easy to kind of pound through them just by using the special move. This time you actually have to earn the special move by taking out enemies or collecting these mystic points throughout the game. Me personally, I really like the art in the game. I like the landscapes. I think that everything is drawn really well. I also really like the music. It goes from overarching cinematic fantasy music to at times when you get into these desperation attacks or certain other ones where they've got some really cool rock music. So that's the positives about this game. Now switching it over, I want to talk about some of the things I don't necessarily like. One of which is the way the combat is done. With these games, I like just constantly moving along and swarms of enemies coming out. This is done in a different format where you reach a particular stage and then waves of enemies come out at you. Me personally, I don't like this. I just want to transverse the entire stage and come across enemies one by one. The way they've got it sectioned out where you have to get into distinct wave battles, I do find a little boring, to tell you the truth. The other one is the enemies seem to have way too much hit points. Like with a beat 'em up, you want to typically just be able to punch and kick, and you want to get that feeling that you're like basically Conan the Barbarian, that you're this overpowering warrior. None of the characters have that feeling, any of the 4 playable characters, because your hits do so little damage on the enemies that if you just use your typical punch kick combos or light, strong combos, you're not going to get anywhere. You really need to focus on jumping attacks and using special moves. And it does get a bit monotonous when you're going through the waves with the characters taking so long, and you constantly get the same kind of enemies over and over. Now, another thing I really don't like is another section in some of the levels where you'll get to one of these major wave battles, but instead of a wave battle, it works kind of like a battle royale, where it's basically, instead of killing all the enemies on screen, your goal is to survive for a certain amount of time. Like, I get what they're going there. They're trying to create a new dynamic with Panic. But, I love the innovation, but at the same time, I wish this was more of a typical beat 'em up where these things weren't included. So anyways, guys, that's some of my positive and negatives with the gameplay. What I'm going to do now is share some of my gameplay footage with you so you can get a straight look at the game and how I played it and decide for yourself if what I say has any value and if you're interested. Remember, guys, the demo for this game is currently available on Steam. You can go check it out yourself. It's free, with the full game becoming available later this year. Well, guys, that's my look at Heroes of Mount Dragon. Let me know in the comments down below what you think of the demo. Are you going to go pick it up off Steam and check it out for yourself? Is this a game you will possibly be interested in playing in the future? I'd be interested to know your thoughts on my points. Do you agree, disagree? Anything you want to tell me, let me know down below. Once again, thank you so very much for watching. This is Michael B. the Game Genie. I'll talk to you next time.